Hi guys, it is May, which means it is time for another tour of my vegetable garden here in Melbourne, Australia. Not only am I going to show you everything that we are harvesting right now, I'm also going to show you everything we're planting right now and give you a bit of inspiration for all the things you could potentially be putting in your gardens in Melbourne or anywhere with a vaguely similar climate right now here in Australia. If you want to stay up to date with what's growing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That way you'll get a notification when the next garden tour is posted. Also, if you could hit the like button, that just helps support the channel and it gives the video a bit of a boost so other people can find it. Well, I do have a lot that's already growing in the garden and I'm going to show you everything. There's also a lot that I'm going to put in today, and this box of seedlings has just arrived. So these are all the seedlings that arrived from Quality Plants and Seedlings, or QP Seedlings from Werribee. Let's take a look. We've got celery, radicchio. Anything we've got here you could potentially be planting in Melbourne right now. Silver beet, cos lettuce red, spring onion, more cos lettuce, red butter lettuce, endive, silver beet, parsley, green butter lettuce, red oak lettuce, bok choy, sorrel, which I haven't grown before, that'll be quite interesting, choy sum, strawberry plants. Strawberries are obviously going to be fruiting in summer, but because these are such tiny plants, I'm guessing it's a good time to get them in now to let those plants grow bigger and stronger so that come summer, they might be ready to fruit. Let's take you over to this pocket of the garden first. So these are our food cube beds. We'll start with this one. Sitting up on the side here is my daughter's passion project. She wanted to grow something in this pot, so we stuck some radish seeds in. I knew they would be fastest growing for her, and they're tiny, therefore we might have some success in such a small container. Sure enough, there are some little Easter egg radishes growing in there, so she's been pretty excited to see how that one grows. We've got rocket here, which has been there forever. I've cut it back a couple of times and it just keeps growing back. I've got spinach in the back here, some beautiful lettuces growing here. Everything tends to grow really well in this bed because there's such a constant supply of water. Water's from the bottom and wicks up, and I can control the level over here. At the back there, it's actually a bit of a race against time. I thought these would grow quicker. These are either snow peas or sugar snap peas. I put one on this side and one on the other side, and I can't remember which is which. But I thought they would grow quicker and therefore be tall enough to get sunlight without being blocked by the lettuces. The lettuces are growing so quickly. They're growing at about the same rate. So I'm hoping these do get a bit taller so that they can get some sunshine. Now I've just stuck 3 little radicchio seedlings in here. On top of that is one of my capsicum plants, which is going to be coming out soon. I will obviously have to just cut that and leave the roots in so that I don't disturb everything else that's growing in there. And a second pepper plant, which is obviously a different variety because they're slightly different shaped peppers. Over here, lots more lettuces. This is sort of my salad bowl, if you like. More peas growing at the back. I've just popped a celery in there. That one will get really big and bushy, which is why I've put it in the corner, so hopefully it doesn't block the sun from everything else in the bed as the sun, whoop, where is it? Oh dear, it's up there. That's why I've strategically put the lettuce in a place where the sun will be able to hit everything without getting blocked by it. 2 more lettuces here. I have tucked in a couple of spring onions here and here. It might seem like a weird spot to put them, but it won't be too long before that one's ready to harvest and they'll take a long time to grow. I haven't done spring onions in these beds before, but I know they'll do really well here because they love a lot of water. And finally, this is a bit rando commando. This is a Broccoletti plant. I stuck a few seeds in and tried to grow a few from seeds. The germination rate was terrible, so there was only one that was really strong enough to plant, so that's why I've got one in there. In hindsight, probably wasn't a great place to put it because that will become really big and bushy and may shade the lettuces at the back. We'll deal with that when the time comes. They do transplant quite well. Down here in this bed, I have planted a bunch of seeds. At a glance, you can't really see them, but when you're getting close, you can. COR for coriander. Here are my coriander sprouts here. Proof that it's coriander, as you can just see the little coriander seeds still sticking onto the end of that leaf there. And on the other side, beetroot. It's really easy to work out which ones the beetroot are because they have a red stem. And more here, and there, and there's a wasp. Zzz. I reckon this one's reached its maximum potential, so I'm going to cut the whole lot back and overwinter it, or just put it aside when it starts to get warmer again. Then I'll start to take care of it again and it'll hopefully regrow. I'm actually pulling this one out because I need this space. Now that I've cleared out the peppers from this side of the bed, I've got a bit of space to work with. I'm going to top it up with some fresh compost and stick in some new seedlings. These are some of the seedlings that arrived in the mail. I'm going to focus on lettuces in this section of the bed. I'm just pulling off some of these leaves because they're going to block sun. This section of the bed I'm going to dedicate to broccoli or broccoli variations because it's easy to cover. I've already got a couple in here that are more developed, and I've got 2 babies in here that I planted ad hoc a week or so ago. I'm going to put some slightly smaller seedlings in there so we can have some at different stages. And I've got even more of the purple broccoli seedlings here. So yes, this is going to be my broccoli section. Let me show you what's going on in this bed right at the back. So I showed you we've got some cabbages growing in there. I've also got some in here. These are not covered. I've been trying to keep the white cabbage butterflies away, and I've been trying to keep an eye on eggs, but I am only partially succeeding. Down here you can see I have tiny little purple broccoli sprouts here. I probably need to net them. We've got a celery plant here that's been growing forever. It's doing very nicely. You can see we cut the bits we need and the rest keeps on growing. At the back, some little seedlings, kale seedlings there. And now this is really interesting. These garlics I've just put in recently, I did a bit of an experiment. I planted some garlics which I'd bought from Bunnings, which had already sprouted. And then I took a bulb of garlic from the supermarket. Now this is always a risky one. Sometimes they're sprayed with something that stops them growing. I had no idea when I got it whether or not it had been sprayed. If you look really carefully, you can see they're starting to sprout too. There's 1, 2, this is what I'm looking at here. Anyway, that's exciting because I didn't think they would sprout at all. And they have, so we might have 2 lots of garlic there that will be ready at slightly different times. Further over here, I've put some green feast peas there. I'm hoping they'll eventually grow up this archway. They won't be that big, but I'm hoping they'll grow up that archway a little bit. They're really slow growing for now. We might have to rethink that. And then you can see I've got another little reminder there for what seeds I put in: carrots. So I have sprinkled this whole area here and at the back with carrot seeds. At the back here I've got another celery seedling and I can't decide where to put it. I'm tempted, given that one grows quite well there and it's probably reaching the end of its life, I'm tempted to put it just next to it, but I also don't want to shade my garlics too much. There you go, fast forward 20 seconds and I've just made an executive decision. It's gonna go in there. Done. Let me take you into this raised bed and show you what's happening under here. Parsley growing at the back. We've got a broccoli plant growing here. I think it's broccolini. That was one that I bought as a bigger seedling just to sort of get it going earlier. There are some smaller broccoli plants in here, which will probably end up taking all the space, but they'll take quite some time to grow. In the meantime, I've just put those seedlings, bok choy and choy sum, in here. They will be much faster growing, so I should be able to harvest those before these broccoli plants get too big and squish them. A couple of leeks that I had growing at the back, they take forever to grow, and I didn't really want to waste them, so I just wanted to stick them somewhere out of the way. So that's where they are. They've been transplanted and they're still alive, so we'll leave them there for now. Been an interesting week in our household, to say the least. Of the 5 of us, 4 have caught COVID, including my 7-week-old baby Lucy. She's getting pretty congested, which is a bit tough to watch. Both kids have been really sick over the last few weeks. Thankfully, they're both now much chirpier and seem to be doing a lot better, and I have been very grateful to have this outdoor space to breathe the fresh air and feel a little bit human. Little cos lettuces in here. I put bunch of seeds in there a very long time ago, and they are slowly getting going. Up the back, I've got my beautiful flowers. I love these flowers. They bring me so much joy because I can see them out the window. I sprinkled in some seeds what feels like 6 months ago now, and that was the result. Aren't they beautiful? I thought they were summer flowers, but they're still going. It's a bit of a new one for me. I don't tend to grow flowers from seed, but now I've just proven to myself how easy it is. Basil growing here. Don't bother trying to put basil in the ground now outside. It will not do particularly well and it will get too cold. If you have an option to grow inside though, that could be a really good option. I'll show you how I'm doing that in a second. Got some spring onions hiding down here in amongst weeds, and a big bushy parsley plant at the back there. So I mentioned growing basil inside if you can. This is my hydroponic setup from Gatherer, also known as the Eco Kitchen. If you have a look over here, there are a couple of tiny baby basils that have just started to grow. I stuck seeds in maybe a couple of weeks ago there. Here I've got coriander because I just struggle to get coriander growing outside, but it grows really nicely in here. I've also got spinach growing at the back there, which I'm going to move outside because I think it's going to take up too much space. In here, I've just put a couple of those cos seedlings that arrived in the mail from QP Seedlings. I didn't know until now that you can actually use these in hydroponic systems. I've just found out you can, so I'm quite excited to see how they go. My son loves a bit of cos lettuce in his sandwiches, so that'd be super handy if I can just pick them off here and use it in his lunches without having to go outside when it's cold and rainy and all that sort of stuff. I've shown you this before, but it's always cool. It is always cool. How cool is that? So a couple of other new products I'm excited to try this month. I've told you before how much I'm obsessed with these liquid fertilizers. And no, I promise I'm not being paid to spruce these to you. I actually just love them. They've just sent me this one as well, which I haven't tried before, but I'm excited to try it this month and see how it goes. It's supposed to enhance the growth of soil microbes and improve the health of your soil. So I wish I was sophisticated enough to fully understand all that sort of stuff. I'm not, so instead I trust the experts, and I'm really excited to give this a go. I've mentioned before that we've had an extraordinary amount of success with chilies this year. These ones have all just been harvested, which is why the plants aren't showing much sign of red anymore. There's still some green ones on there. We've really had too many chilies that we just don't know what to do with them. So there'll be lots going in the freezer, and I don't think we'll be spending as much time growing chilies next year because I think we will still have some left. I've been using this little protected housey kind of thing to look after my seedlings. So we've been growing all sorts of things in here. I have a double up or a triple up almost of peas because I planted some in here before I stuck seeds in the garden, and the ones that I put straight into the garden are growing just as quickly. So I'm actually going to take these ones and these ones. I'm going to give them to my dad because he is looking for something to put in his garden. That's what I love about planting too many seedlings. You can give them to someone else and the love can be passed on.